Time around, it's the state of Maharashtra. Just a few months ago, it was Karnataka. Before that, it was Banaras, Varanasi. Our talking points this evening: Aurangzeb politics in Maharashtra. Who gains politically from Aurangzeb? All of that coming up through the course of the next 45 minutes. Let me first take you through the headlines. After Fadnavis, Aurangzeb ki aulad jaib, Owaisi's Godse ki aulad attack on Fadnavis accuses BJP of defaming Islam in Maharashtra. Political war over Congress government's plan to revise Karnataka textbooks and remove Hedgewar chapters. BJP lashes out at Siddaramaiah government. Congress claims RSS founder wrote mercy letters to British. There's been a twist in Mumbai's murder case. Accused Manoj and victim Saraswati had gotten married in a temple. Sources suggest accused shows no remorse, not cooperating in the probe as well. 4 days after baseball player Sanjana died by suicide in Jabalpur, the police have arrested the accused Abdul. The police say he posed as a Hindu to lure the girl. Probe into blackmail angle as well. International wrestling referee says he saw a female athlete push away Brij Bhushan Singh as she got uncomfortable. The Delhi police also recreate the crime scene at WFI boss Delhi office. TMC MP Abhishek Banerjee refuses to appear before the ED on the coal scam, calls summon a ploy to distract him from panchayat polls. S. Shankar slams foreign attack. Raga says criticizing India abroad and seeking intervention is a big cause of concern and can have serious implications for India. Congress dismisses report of Sachin Pilot floating his own party as rumour. Congress General Secretary K.C. Venugopal says no rift in Rajasthan, will fight polls united. And Trump indicted in classified documents case, first ex-US president to face federal criminal charges. Trump alleges greatest witch hunt of all times. Our top story, the latest flashpoint coming in. Maharashtra has unraveled into an Aurangzeb ki aulad now versus Godse ki aulad showdown. After Aurangzeb posters and WhatsApp statuses glorifying the Mughal ruler sent Kolhapur practically to the edge, the ruling BJP and the opposition are now locked in a war of words and politics. But who is fueling the Aurangzeb fire and who could actually benefit from it? Here's the full report.
Political showdown erupts over Mughal ruler Aurangzeb in Maharashtra. 2 days after Hindu right-wing groups went on a rampage in Kolhapur against WhatsApp status hailing Aurangzeb, political parties in the state are accusing each other of inciting riots. The Bharatiya Janata Party has blamed what it calls the Tukde Tukde gang for inciting this vandalism, describing Aurangzeb as a tyrant who committed atrocities against Hindus.
वोट के खातिर कहीं छत्तीसगढ़ में धर्मांतरण, कोल्हापुर में बाबर के औलाद खड़े हो जाते हैं, औरंगजेब के औलाद खड़े हो जाते हैं, भारत के सनातनियों की अस्मिता के साथ खेलते हैं, तो मराठा के लोग तो विरोध करेंगे.
The AIMIM, which is blamed for holding the rally in Ahmednagar where these Aurangzeb posters were flaunted, has accused the BJP in return of orchestrating the riots allegedly in Kolhapur. Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, on the other hand, has called the rioters descendants of Aurangzeb.
सवाल ये उठता है कि अचानक इतने औरंगजेब के औलादे कहां से पैदा हुई, इसके पीछे कौन है, इसका असली मालिक कौन है, ये भी हम ढूंढ के निकालेंगे. कौन जानबूझकर महाराष्ट्र में कानून व्यवस्था खराब हो और महाराष्ट्र का नाम खराब हो, ये करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. ये भी हम ढूंढ के निकालेंगे।
ये कौन सी जबान है एक डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर की, जो चीफ मिनिस्टर था 5 साल के लिए, और जो उसके अतराफ के लोग बोलते हैं कि एक दिन वो प्रधानमंत्री भी बन सकता है, वो कह रहा औरंगजेब की औलाद। फिर गोडसे की औलाद कौन है? आप्टे की औलाद कौन है? मदन लाल पावा की औलाद कौन है?
The Shiv Sena Uddhav faction has accused Shinde government of using Aurangzeb as a political tool.
आपका कहना है कि हिंदुत्व खतरे में क्यों पड़ जाता है अगर कोई औरंगजेब का पोर्ट्रेट अगर सर पे
खतरे में नहीं है, उनको लगता है उनका हिंदुत्व बहुत कमजोर है।
तो फिर ऐसे एंटी सोशल एलिमेंट्स को कितनी रियायत दी जाए आपके हिसाब से सर?
ठोक देना चाहिए, जहाँ यूपी में हो रहा है।
Amid this Aurangzeb face-off, Maharashtra opposition leaders are claiming they are receiving death threats. NCP MP Supriya Sule met Mumbai Police Commissioner to file a complaint. She said her father and party chief Sharad Pawar got threats over WhatsApp.
आदरणीय पवार साहब के नाम से आज मेरे व्हाट्सएप पे ये मैसेज आया है। उनको एक धमकी दी गई है, एक वेबसाइट से दी गई है, और वैसी ही धमकी और भी इस रिलेटेड जो अकाउंट्स है इस पे आई है। मेरी विनती रहेगी होम मिनिस्टर से, महाराष्ट्र के भी और देश के भी होम मिनिस्टर से, कि ऐसी जो हरकतें हो रही है ये गंदी घटिया राजनीति है और ये कहाँ भी रुकना चाहिए।
Sanjay Raut's brother, speaking to India Today, also alleged his brother is getting death threats for speaking out on the Aurangzeb issue.
4-4:30 बजे मुझे 3-4 कॉल आ गए
जी,
और उन्होंने उसमें बोला कि संजय राउत साहब उन्होंने फोन उठा नहीं रहे, डर गए। उनको बोलना ज्यादा आवाज करना मत, तुम्हारा सुबह का प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस बंद करो, भोंगा बंद कर दो, नहीं तो तुम्हें और दोनों भाइयों को जल्दी से जल्दी मैं स्मशान भूमि में पहुंचा दूंगा, दोनों को मैं जल्दी से जल्दी गोली से उड़ा दूंगा।
The Maharashtra police has registered 4 FIRs and arrested 36 people for stone pelting, vandalism and rioting in Kolhapur. Aurangzeb has become a political issue in a state that will be crucial for both the BJP and opposition in the upcoming 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Bureau Report, India Today.
So like I said at the beginning, viewers, India's medieval history has come knocking back on India's doorstep, this time in Maharashtra with the face of Aurangzeb. But who gains from Aurangzeb politics is the question that we ask this evening. BJP banking on Hindutva to blunt Uddhav Thackeray's politics. And will Hindutva vote be split in Maharashtra, especially when it comes down to the Lok Sabha elections next year? Let me quickly take you through our guests this evening. Our panelists, Shweta Shalini, BJP spokesperson, Clyde Crasto, NCP spokesperson, Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs editor, Sahil Joshi, Mumbai Bureau Chief. Cutting across to Sahil in just about a minute, but let's begin right now with Rahul Srivastava first. Rahul, you know, if we just take a look at Maharashtra, in the last 3 months, there have been 3 incidents, all of them communal, where you look at it, relating to a mosque, a temple, social media. There seems to be a shift in narrative where Maharashtra is concerned, where communal politics is at play. Why do you think this is happening, and who really stands to benefit from it politically?
Preeti, the issues from the backyards of history are out for the future. If you look at Maharashtra, you said 3 incidents. Sahil will tell you better. I think there have been something close to 10 incidents now in the last 4 months, if you add the 3-4 incidents which have happened, minor though, but they have happened. The crisis here is a battle which can be called Hindutva versus Hindutva battle. Till the last elections, you had 2 major claimants for the Hindu vote. And that was the BJP and the Shiv Sena. The change which has happened post the split in the Shiv Sena and the BJP and the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena parting ways is there are virtually 4 claimants to the Hindu vote now. And that has led to a series of incidents and developments all over the states. One may look at communal flare-ups. Now, let me recount 50 odd religious functions have been, rallies have been held between November to March 2023. These are Hindutva thing, or largely bordering around love jihad and land jihad. That's a new term emerging in Maharashtra, where the allegation is non-Hindus are being given Hindu lands. Then there is a demand for socio-economic boycott of Muslims. You can recall what happened vis-a-vis Triambakeshwar, where some tradition was there that Muslim youth used to go for fragrance there, and there was an uproar over that, and then there was trouble. Then Shraddha Walkar case. In the post-Shraddha Walkar case, you had a lot of trouble in several places in the name of love jihad. Osmanabad and Aurangabad districts were renamed. That led to a problem. Now, if you see, it's very akin to what was happening between 1990 and 1992, when Advaniji started his Rath Yatra. There was that Hindu aggression which had stepped in. The key here is that what we are seeing right now, I will say, the seeds have been sown earlier. The machinery is now being put in place, and I think activation will start happening, or has started happening.
Well, activation
it's not just
right.
Lok Sabha. One point, that
Yes.
it's not just Lok Sabha, it is also the October 2023 likely Brihan Mumbai municipal elections.
Likely, Rahul Srivastav, because, every 2 months is a new date when it comes down to the BMC elections there. But I want to bring in Sahil into the conversation, then we'll cut across to our political guests. Sahil, much has changed in the Maharashtra political landscape after the split of the Shiv Sena. But the question that I was asking Rahul, the incident in Kolhapur, from be it Aurangzeb ki aulad versus Godse ki aulad, all of that is peripheral and surface. If you look and dig deep down, in my current memory, 3 incidents back-to-back, communal violence, communal flare-up, be it a temple, mosque and social media, all 3 of them, the genesis of that were these 3 things. All 3 of them deeply politicized, and now with the latest that we are seeing in Kolhapur as well. There is also heavy politics that is being played at the back, and understandably so, to leverage maximum when it comes down to the Hindutva vote. Who do you see that stands to benefit from it?
Well, sometimes I have started thinking that it's not even a big guesswork now that the elections are approaching, and such kind of small incidences turning into a big incidence happens. I would like to recount at least 6 incidences in last 4 months. The first one from Aurangabad, which now the city has been changed to Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. There it all started first on 31st of March. The second incident, what I can see here, is in Akola. Again, because of the social media post, there was a Hindu-Muslim riot situation happened in Akola. Then it was Trambakeshwar, which Rahul was mentioning. Then it was Ahmednagar, and now it is Kolhapur. Now, interestingly, specifically with respect to the Kolhapur incidents. Now, what happens? I would like to elaborate that.
Sahil.
Yeah, be it today. Be it today.
Yeah, that's another
even
exactly
today.
the same. Yes.
Yeah, so I would like to recount the Kolhapur incident just to give you a brief what exactly happened, how I feel sometimes that certain things are being blown out of proportion. First, this particular social media post, it's not even a social media post, it was a WhatsApp status, which people realize that there is a WhatsApp status kept by minor boys in Kolhapur. The police immediately came into an action. They arrested these people. On the same day, the Hindu Ekal Morcha, the association of the Hindu organizations, called for a meeting in Kolhapur. The political parties, including the BJP, the Shiv Sena, Shinde, even the Shiv Sena UBT, because finally when it comes to Hindutva, all the parties have to be there. So all these parties attended the meeting. The call for Kolhapur Bandh was given. Immediately the police reacted. Police reached to them and said, don't call for a Kolhapur Bandh. We have already taken action against these minor boys, and we are looking into the incidents. But despite that, the police didn't sense anything which is going to happen. That is what is very surprising. The police did not put the Article 144, the Section 144 did not implement Section 144 in Kolhapur. The next day at 11 o'clock, again, the mob assembles, the same Hindu Ekal Morcha assembled. The BJP leader, the local Shiv Sena leaders were part of that particular march. The police reached there. They charged them, they lathi charged, the people spread into the various gullies around that area, and then the stone pelting and everything started. The point is that how come police did not think about this, that already there was a call for Kolhapur Bandh. They had requested these people, do not go for a Kolhapur Bandh. We have already arrested those people, but still they enforced that there has to be a Kolhapur Bandh, and the next day that is what exactly happens. Now in last 4 months, 6 incidences, the incidences are rising. Even today, the way Sharad Pawar was threatened, Sanjay Raut was threatened in a similar way. Now it can be clearly seen that what happens with this, it's not a big riot like a situation, but small riots in various areas. Now let's look at the population in these areas.
Right.
The Aurangabad, that is Sambhajinagar and Akola, 25% Muslim population. So two groups can create a conflict. But areas like Kolhapur or Ahmednagar, or for that matter Nasik, 6 to 7% Muslim population, the situation will not flare up beyond a point, and that is where these incidences are happening at this point of time.
You know,
so there has to be some kind of
I'm going to come right back. You know, Sahil, I'm going to come right back. Let's bring in our political panelists. Appreciate the patience. Shweta Shalini, communal tensions rife in your run state over figures that come in from the 17th and the 18th century. I just want to ask you one direct question, ma'am. When your deputy CM says Aurangzeb ki aulad, what does he mean? Who is Aurangzeb ki aulad?
So, okay, counter question to you, Preeti ji. Who was Aurangzeb? Aurangzeb was a tyrant. Second question to you. On that one particular day,
Madam, that's not a question. That's a statement. Yes, Aurangzeb was a tyrant, not a question.
Yes, he was a criminal. He was a tyrant.
What's the question?
Now, that day, those posters, those boys were flaring up the people by showing the posters of Aurangzeb. What was the occasion? Or exactly the occasion that on that day was Shiv Rajya Abhishek Day. So there was no question of somebody waving out Aurangzeb's posters on a day that Maharashtra is celebrating Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Now that is exactly where somebody has to go back. You know, I just heard on your channel OACG talking about Godse's Aulad. You think there is anybody who's waving these posters anywhere that you can see? Again, now I heard both your editors and both of them were well researched. I would also want to point out a couple of things that Rahulji forgot. You know, similar incidents have happened in Noida where 400 people were converted, children were converted using a gaming app.
There's no figure, 1 second. I'll fact check you on this. Madam,
incident happened in Damoh.
Madam, this is not Madam, hear my please. Okay, Madam, hear me out. You cannot give a false figure. There are no 400 children that have been converted. Please do not use this platform to spread fake news. Do not use this platform, madam, to spread fake news. You can't outshout the person.
21 of them.
Madam, are you listening to me? Can I just put her fader down? Put her fader down. Okay. Shweta Shalini, nobody can hear you right now, but please hear this. Do not throw figures which are factually incorrect. Do not use this platform to spread fake news. There is nowhere near that 400 children were converted. This is what causes rumors. I'm going to come back to you, Shweta Shalini, make your point, then I'll cut across to Clyde Crasto. Go ahead, Ms. Shalini, make your point now.
I was saying that Sahil said a lot of things. One particular thing that he forgot in his entire research were 21 people have been arrested because of stone pelting. See, it was yes, the Hindu organizations came together, proper permissions were taken, but the mob started and the upheaval started only when stones were pelted. Now, who pelted these stones? 21 people have been arrested. FIR has been registered. Now, go back and check who and which party do these people belong to.
Okay.
And ultimately, why did some leaders have to have press conferences on issues like this? So when you point a finger at somebody, there are 4 fingers which is pointing towards yourself, and that's when Clyde has a lot to answer.
Madam,
why
India
did
Today editors, madam, 1 second, please learn to listen. Yeah, ma'am, please. Okay, it's a debate. Let's not outshout anyone, and please don't embarrass me by putting your fader down or putting your voice down. I don't want to do it. So my only humble submission, madam, is a press statement was given, and I just want to ask you that same question again. The deputy CM says Aurangzeb ki aulad. Who is Aurangzeb ki aulad? Are you talking about just those 3 young boys who are minors? Sahil also wants to make a point. Sahil, come in and then we'll cut across to Shweta Shalini.
Anybody who is glorifying a tyrant,
I just want to factually correct what she was saying.
Yes, go ahead, Sahil.
Okay, I just want to make a the factual correction here is that no permission was taken for this particular march on the next day. The SP from Kolhapur has made it very clear that as per the Bombay Police Act, the gathering was not allowed. They had requested those people that do not call for a Kolhapur Bandh, but despite that, this march started, and that is the reason why the police had to make a small lathi charge where this gathering had happened. So there was no permission taken, there was no permission given. That is the factual correction.
Okay, so
I just
two
wanted
fact
to
checks.
What happened to
Okay,
that?
two fact checks, Ms. Shweta Shalini. A, in the number of kids that you said were converted, not true, and what Sahil said. But please answer, then may I please cut across to Mr. Clyde Crasto. Go ahead, Ms. Shalini.
Exactly what I said. I think Sahil ji forgot to mention again that stones were pelted on these people, on these organizations, and 21 people are under arrest. Where did these stones come from? These came from shops which were closed down. So go back and check who were the people who actually shut down shops that day, because Hindu organizations were up on the street.
Madam, you know the insinuations, but okay, let just that be. Clyde Crasto, I want to... Yes, sir, but I want to ask you a question. The sheer fact that we've seen violence in Kolhapur, we saw violence in Beed today, at the back of posters displayed of Aurangzeb, the violence might be of right-wing outfits or whatever you might say. But the fact is, should a person like Aurangzeb be glorified when it is a known fact, at least on the streets that we are seeing, that it can incite violence? Why glorify? So you're on mute.
Again.
Go ahead.
There is
yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear
There's
you.
absolutely no need for glorification. I want to make it very clear that, Preeti, I'm on a debate talking to you, so I request that nobody interjects because I was listening very patiently. My point is very simple, like Rahul Srivastava ji said and Sahil said, that since March 31st, nearly 6 incidents have happened in Maharashtra which have led to violence. So what was the intelligence department doing? What was the home department doing? Did they not know that this was going to happen? And if 6 incidents are going to happen one after the other, so either they were not aware and that they're not doing their job, or they're looking the other way around. That's the whole point here. So somebody is letting this happen. Whether it's Aurangzeb, whether it's Godse, whatever. My point here is, in that procession, if Aurangzeb's posters were held, immediately the police should have taken it down. In Kolhapur, I mean, what was the intelligence doing when hundreds of people were gathering there? They didn't have no input. That's the whole point. My point here is, I again say, nobody of this kind of people, Aurangzeb or whatever, should be glorified. That's wrong. Absolutely. But what is the Home Department doing? Is it letting it happen? Even today. Now, that threats are coming to Mr. Sharad Pawar. Okay? It's coming from somebody who is officially writing on his handle that he's a BJP worker. Nilesh Rane goes on to talk and, he's equating Mr. Sharad Pawar to Aurangzeb, trying to, create more disturbance in the state. We want peace in Maharashtra, but what is the Home Department doing? That's the question. And you can ask questions. I'm saying nobody's above the law. If anybody, and I repeat, anybody is trying to create disturbance in the country, should be put behind bars.
All right. So,
Jail them.
So
The
even
Home
though
Department in the center is yours. The
even
Home
though there might
Department
be
in Maharashtra
minors, the
is yours.
sheer
Jail
fact
them.
that Aurangzeb posters were displayed because possibly the end result was to could have been strife, communal violence, so they should have been taken off, is what Clyde Crasto is saying. But I want to bring in Rahul Srivastava back into this conversation. Ms. Shalini, I know you want to come and just give me 2 minutes. I just want to bring in our editors into the conversation. Rahul Srivastava, the fact is, let's look at what went down in Karnataka. Tipu didn't quite work for the Bharatiya Janata Party where Karnataka was concerned. Pulling back medieval figures is not quite working, at least in the recent elections. Why is Maharashtra different? Especially if you go into Lok Sabha elections. The last Lok Sabha, 2019, Maharashtra got the NDA a mammoth 41 seats. Right after UP, if I'm not wrong, sir. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Preeti, Tipu didn't work in Karnataka because Karnataka is different. One, what Shalini ji said, I would like to say, is that if some posters are waved of Aurangzeb, some posts have Tipu Sultan or some audio messages, I would rather term them as aberrations. These are miscreants who can be trying to create or foment trouble. The job of a government is to curb that trouble. But it becomes a problem when the state chief, deputy chief minister and the home minister brands the entire community as Aurangzeb ki aulad and makes it a design. I never said that the BJP is fomenting communal trouble. I said there are 4 claimants to the Hindutva vote. And that is perhaps what the bigger crisis at this moment is. Preeti, it's an irony that the gentleman in question, Aurangzeb, was cremated, was buried in a tomb in Khuldabad in Aurangabad, which is there in Maharashtra, and it is a dargah of Sheikh Zainuddin, where he is cremated. It's a nondescript, unmarked grave. Now, that's a fact. I think Aurangzeb can be made in vogue. I think there could well be, because you have an unrest brewing in Uttar Pradesh and Banaras vis-a-vis Aurangzeb, and that's
Gyanvapi, yes.
and also in the Krishna Janmabhoomi. So you can there could well be a connect. I think, Preeti, also it is primarily because that such is the politics today, that the turf has been laid by the BJP very strongly. And if you see Maharashtra, if Sahil is saying that there are 6 riots till now and there has been communal trouble in Maharashtra, but has there been a very strong criticism of it from all the political parties? Because if you look at the NCP also, even the NCP can be called a fallback option for the Marathi Hindus who are unhappy with the Shiv Sena or the BJP. And in that scenario, with no strong criticism, there can be a problem. If the Congress steps out today, very strong comment against this Hindutva aggression, then there is neighboring Madhya Pradesh where the Congress is playing the same game.
Right.
And I think in that kind of an atmosphere, there is a sense of encouragement which these elements are getting. And then you have Mr. Fadnavis's statement.
Shweta Shalini, you want to come in? Just the question I want to ask you, ma'am, and please hear the question out. Minor boys, Muslim boys, spot posters of Aurangzeb. Does it warrant the Deputy Chief Minister to come out and publicly speak with the press and call them out as Aurangzeb ki aulad, and not just them, give out a blanche card, Aurangzeb ki aulad agar hain? Does it really warrant that? Is it befitting the office of the Deputy CM of Maharashtra? Madam, please ask yourself that question and answer.
Yes, thank you. Hopefully you'll allow me to answer.
Of course.
First fact check is with Rahul ji. Will you please point out the statement of where the entire Muslim community, as per the DCM, was termed as Aurangzeb ka aulad? He has been continuously saying, and we have been continuously saying, that only people who glorify Aurangzeb are Aurangzeb ki aulad. And that's why he's been continuously saying, ye achanak se kahan se paida ho gaye. Second, and the fact check that I need to do with you is go back and check. The 2 people who were holding up the posters are actually workers of AIMIM. The 2 minors who have been arrested are the people who had the Aurangzeb WhatsApp DP which said "Baap to Baap hota hai" on Shiv Rajya Abhishek Day, where the entire Daivat of Maharashtra is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Okay, 2 workers of AIMIM, 2 minor boys with a WhatsApp.
Please allow me to finish.
Madam, because you're not answering the question which I asked you.
Because I'm exactly answering the question that you asked.
Which is what, ma'am? Does it befit the office of the Deputy Chief Minister to use the word Aurangzeb ki aulad?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It is completely befitting because he was a tyrant. He killed numerous crores and crores of Hindus. He destroyed our temples. He is a criminal. We cannot allow anybody to glorify Aurangzeb, and that be it, period.
All right. Okay. Clyde Craster, you want to make a point? I want to ask you, has the NCP fallen bang in the center of the trap, or a political trap that has been laid by the BJP when it comes down to communal politics? You did the entire jail bharo agitation after the BJP leader Nilesh Rane said what he did about your leader, Mr. Sharad Pawar.
Well, absolutely no. There's no trap. We are not going to fall for what BJP is trying to do in the last 6 months that they've come into the government in Maharashtra. We are not going to fall in anybody's trap. The point here is, my question again is that there are 6 incidents have happened. First one, second one. Why is the State Department, Home Department allowing these incidents to happen? Where is the intelligence? Where is the Home Minister? I mean, he's busy making statements, whatever he may be doing, but he has to keep an eye on why these things are happening. So, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 6 incidents. So, I mean, there is something wrong somewhere. Either they are not capable and incompetent, or they are looking the other way and letting these things happen. That's the whole question. See, I mean, we can keep talking again and again, but the job of the Home Department has failed. They've not managed to curb this thing, whoever it may be, whether it's AIMIM or anybody. Why are they all not put behind bars and set an example? Hundreds of people are gathering overnight, and there is news that people have come from outside of Kolhapur to create this tension. So what was the Home Department doing when people from outside of Kolhapur were actually traveling into Kolhapur to create this tension? A lot of questions are there. There are no answers. I mean, every time you ask questions, they're talking about everything else except what the questions are being asked. And we have all the right to answer. What is the role of an opposition in a democracy? Is to ask the question, show the mirror, the government which
All right.
is wrong.
Okay, Shweta Shalini, you want to come in? Please come in for a rebuttal, and then Sahil, we'll look at the larger picture after that, Rahul and Sahil. Go ahead, Ms. Shalini.
That's exactly what we have been saying, Clyde. That if you look at the patterns are so similar. All the 6 incidents, the same pattern has been followed, and that's the reason why you've been asking again and again. The Home
Please, let's
Minister,
not talk over each other. No. Okay, can I just get Clyde Crasto, fader off? Can I just get Ms. Shalini? Go ahead, Ms. Shalini, make your point.
And that's exactly what we have been saying. There are people who are making this happen. And these are the people who are holding press conferences, coming online and supporting the larger cause of Aurangzeb, which the people of Maharashtra do not fall for. And that's the reason why the people of Maharashtra, the people of the Hindu community are retaliating. It is the people of the Hindu community which is coming forward.
No. These are, okay. Let's not get into the people of the Hindu community retaliating. These are statements which are insidious. You and I both understand what the gravity of these statements are, ma'am. Let's let these statements be. At least on this platform. Avoid it. Madam, please avoid these statements on this platform. Use them elsewhere. I want to cut across to, may I just get Sahil Joshi and Rahul Srivastava back into this conversation. Sahil, that's the sad part, because, even as political journalists, one might look at it, we're busy talking about, reading up about Bajrang Dal, Bajrang Bali, Aurangzeb, Tipu Sultan. But going ahead where Maharashtra is concerned, you're going into a high-octane BMC battle, which we still don't know the dates. As Rahul Srivastava said, hopefully in October. We don't know when that's happening. But to the larger picture of the Lok Sabha elections next year, how do you see things play out?
Well, it's not only the BMC elections. Why this has become very important is basically because it's going to be a semi-assembly election. More than 10 municipal corporations of Maharashtra are going to go for elections, hopefully in October. We still don't know the date yet. But yes, by October, it's likely that more than 10 municipal corporations, which includes Mumbai, Pune, Nasik, Aurangabad, Sambhajinagar and Nagpur, are going to go for the election. So it's going to be really big, and that is the reason why these communal tensions have to be looked at from the political angle as well. That is point number one. The point number two is that, is it going to help? You have to understand that these elections are going to be fought between two political spaces. One space which calls themselves, pure Hindutwavadi space, that is Shiv Sena and the BJP. Recently, Shiv Sena has made it very clear, the BJP leaders have made it also very clear that all the local body elections will also be fought together. That is Shiv Sena and BJP in alliance. The MVA is still trying to work out, if there is going to be a possible alliance even for the local body elections or not. So, these particular, the communal tensions are going to matter during these municipal corporation elections. And in Maharashtra specifically, such kind of issues, sometimes have definitely helped, but not across Maharashtra. So that is the reason why sporadic incidences across the Maharashtra are happening. I simply do not agree with what Shweta Shalini said, that the whole Hindu people are reverting the way Aurangzeb is being glorified. Whoever is trying to glorify Aurangzeb is being arrested by the police, and right now the tension, like even in Kolhapur, exactly the next day the situation was completely under control and there were no more incidences. But will this continue is going to be the real question. Now that is the tough part. If this continues, now the rainy season will start, so I don't think that such kind of incidents might happen. But before October, if these kind of communal tension continues, then that is going to be the tough part, not only for the state of Maharashtra, but also for the government of Maharashtra and the opposition parties which are coming together. Now in a state like Maharashtra, there are 4 parties which claims that they are carrying the Hindutva banner with us. That is the BJP, the Shiv Sena, which is with Shinde at this point of time, Shiv Sena, UBT, and also MNS.
Yes.
So, it's going to be really interesting that when such issues are being raked up, how these parties are going to behave at that particular time, and that is what is going to turn the politics.
Rahul, if you can also come in very quickly, and much has changed. Like I said earlier, where the political landscape of Maharashtra is concerned after the split of the Shiv Sena. The last election that was fought in Maharashtra, be it the state election or even the general elections in 2019, it was very high on Hindutva. How do you see things play out this time around? Because 41, the second largest share in terms of the seats that the NDA had after UP was here, Maharashtra.
Preeti, I think the stakes have changed, and stakes have changed tremendously in Maharashtra. And I think in the current scenario, one will only keep the fingers crossed, because I think the state is such that everybody loves a good communal stir-up. Primarily because there are so many claimants, as I've been saying since the beginning, that if you have too many claimants, the counter will also be there. You see, if there are 4 claimants for the Hindutva vote, there will be claimants for the minority vote who will also try to do a reverse polarization or a prior polarization. Now, there are multiple efforts to polarize going on. So it could be that some troublemakers are fomenting trouble, and there are 4 parties today instead of 1 or 2 parties which stand and protest on the streets crying for the saving Hinduism. You have 4 today. In that scenario, with so many claimants and so many players and polarization on all sides, I think, yes, Maharashtra can be in for a bit of trouble. I think also, primarily because this is a state which abuts Madhya Pradesh. So I think stirring the pot will become stay in vogue.
Yes, it borders Madhya Pradesh there. Appreciate all you gentlemen and Shweta, Shalini for joining us. Thank you. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments as they take place in the state of Maharashtra. It'd be interesting. Will things heat up in politics? Definitely. But let's hope at least on ground there is no communal tension, because it's just not worth it. With that, I want to quickly shift focus to our other big developing story. We've kept the eye on the wrestlers' protest, the latest chapter there. Wrestlers' protest versus the BJP MP Brij Bhushan Sharan. What has been a very big development is the man on your television screen on the right-hand side is Jagbir Singh. He used to be the coach of the international men's wrestling team. He's now an international wrestling referee. He's come out and corroborated in detail the wrestler's allegation. In his testimony to the Delhi police, he said that he saw with his eyes, he's an eyewitness, he saw with his eyes Brij Bhushan Sharan sexually assault our female wrestlers. Jagbir Singh narrated the photo shoot incident, which is corroborated by one of the complainants with the date as well. She's corroborated in her complaint to the Delhi police. He's a witness in that, on the basis of which now there is an FIR that has been filed. He's also added many more instances which are very, very worrying. I spoke to him a short while ago. Listen in.
अभी पुलिस जांच कर रही है। 15 तारीख तक पुलिस चार्जशीट फाइल करेगी। 15 तारीख के बाद अगर बोलने की ज़रूरत होगी तो बोला जाएगा जी। अभी मुझे नहीं लगता है कि इस मामले में मुझे कुछ बोलना चाहिए।
All right, joining me right now is Jagbir Singh. He is one of the key eyewitnesses. There are over 100 eyewitnesses that have been put forth by the wrestlers. He is one of them. He's joining us now. He is a referee now, an international referee where wrestling is concerned. Earlier on, he's also been the coach of the India men's team. I spoke to him a short while ago. Jagbir ji, बहुत शुक्रिया सर आप हमसे जुड़े. एक की आई विटनेस कहते हैं आप, वो हैं इस पूरे केस में. जगबीर जी, सबसे पहले आप यही बताइएगा, क्या आपने कभी ब्रिज भूषण शरण को फिजिकली सेक्सुअली अब्यूज करते हुए देखा है महिलाओं को? कोई वाकया है जो आपको बिल्कुल याद है?
लखनऊ में 25 मार्च 2022 की एक घटना है। एशिया चैंपियनशिप की ट्रायल हुई थी, सीनियर एशिया चैंपियनशिप की ट्रायल थी 25 मार्च 2022 को। ट्रायल के बाद एक फोटो सेशन होता है, जिस फोटो सेशन में प्रेसिडेंट था और कोचेज साहिबान थे, जो स्पोर्टिंग स्टाफ है वो भी था और टेक्निकल ऑफिशियल भी थे। तो फोटो सेशन जब शुरू हुआ तो एक महिला पहलवान प्रेसिडेंट ब्रजभूषण की बराबर में खड़ी थी और एक जो चीफ कोच था वो भी था। लेकिन थोड़ी ही देर में जब फोटो की तैयारी चल रही थी तो वो लड़की एकदम से छटपटाई, सबका ध्यान उधर गया। तो जिसमें मैंने भी देखा कि वो लड़की वहां से हट कर के दूसरी जगह जाने के लिए तैयार हुई, तो वो लड़की अपनी भाषा में कुछ सुनाई तो नहीं दे रहा था कुछ, लेकिन होठ चल रहे थे, वो कुछ बड़बड़ा रही थी। और हमने जब पीछे मुड़ के देखा तो ब्रजभूषण के हाथ ऐसी जगह लगे थे कि जहां पर लड़कियों को नहीं छूना चाहिए।
जगबीर जी, उनके हाथ ब्रिजभूषण शरण के ऐसी जगह लगे थे जो असहज था, आप ये कह रहे हैं। क्या दिनांक था, फिर से जरा डेट बताइएगा।
25 मार्च 2022 लखनऊ की घटना है
ये 25 मार्च 2022 वही दिन है जो महिला रेसलर कंप्लेनेंट है, उन्होंने अपनी कंप्लेन में दर्ज की है, जिसके बिना पर एफआईआर है, उसी पे आप विटनेस हैं। क्या ये वही इंसिडेंट है, उसी कंप्लेनेंट से रिलेटेड, उनमें से वही महिला रेसलर ने कंप्लेन की है जिसके बारे में आप बात कर रहे हैं?
हाँ हाँ, उनमें से एक है।
उनमें से एक है। जगबीर जी, आपने अभी जो 25 मार्च वाला वाकया है जो 2022 का, जो अभी जिसके बयानों पे, जो महिला बयानों पे एफआईआर करी गई हैं, वो आपने बताया है कि आपकी आंख देखी है कि ब्रिजभूषण शरण ने अपना हाथ महिला रेसलर पे ऐसे रख रखा था कि बहुत ही भद्दा था और असहज था। ये आपने हमें अभी बताया है। जगबीर जी, आप मुझे ये बताइए, क्या आपके संज्ञान में कोई और ऐसा वाकया कभी हुआ है जो आप बिल्कुल क्लियरली हमें बता सकते हैं?
देखिए, ये तो 2022 की घटना है। उससे पहले 2013 की एक घटना है। थाईलैंड की थाईलैंड पुकेट में एक जूनियर एशिया चैंपियनशिप हुई थी 2013 में। वहां की घटना है। वहां पर भारतीय टीम ने एक उम्दा प्रदर्शन किया था और वहां पर प्रेसिडेंट भी मौजूद था। तो प्रेसिडेंट ने बच्चों को कहा कि आपके लिए आज इंडियन फूड की व्यवस्था करेंगे, क्योंकि थाईलैंड में सी फूड ज़्यादा मिलता है, ऑयली फूड ज़्यादा मिलता है। तो बच्चों ने वो कुछ ठीक नहीं लगा था, क्योंकि रेसलर्स जो हैं वो ज़्यादा शाकाहारी होते हैं और दूध घी पे ज़्यादा विश्वास रखते हैं। तो उनके लिए रात को डिनर की व्यवस्था की गई इंडियन फूड्स की। तो जहाँ पर लड़कियों का होटल था, जहाँ पर खिलाड़ी रुके हुए थे, उस होटल में उस खाने की व्यवस्था की गई। और अध्यक्ष जी ब्रजभूषण जी और उनके जो साथी थे वहां के, थाईलैंड के ही थे, वो सारे नशे में चूर थे और उन्होंने बच्चियों को इस तरह से छुआ जाए जो हमारे समाज में बच्चियों को उस तरह से नहीं छुआ जाता। किसी बच्ची को पकड़ के कि आपने बहुत अच्छी कुश्ती लड़ी, आप बहुत अच्छी हैं, आपका शरीर बहुत अच्छा है, आपको मैं ये मदद करूंगा, आप बड़े पहलवान बनोगे, आपको बताइए किस चीज़ की ज़रूरत है। तो ऐसे बयानबाजी हुई और हम भी उस जगह पर मौजूद थे, हम रेफरी के तौर पर गए हुए थे। वो हमने बहुत बुरा लगा था, वो एक बहुत बुरा सपना था।
ये 2013 की घटना आप बता रहे हैं, ये घटना जो 7 महिलाओं ने बयान किया है उनमें से नहीं है, पर एक दूसरी घटना है जो आप बता रहे हैं। पर जगबीर जी, मुझे ये चीज़ बताइए, जो फुकेत थाईलैंड की घटना आप बता रहे हैं, इसमें बहुत सारी महिलाएं अंडर एज थी क्या? और क्या ये व्यवहार एक से ज़्यादा महिला के साथ हुआ, वहाँ पे महिला रेसलर के साथ हुआ? क्या और लोग भी थे आपके अलावा जिन्होंने ये देखा?
हाँ, पूरी टीम थी। हाँ, महिलाएं थी, पुरुष भी थे।
तो फिर से पूछूंगी, पूरी टीम थी और लोग भी थे, और जो असॉल्ट हुआ था वो एक रेसलर महिला से ज्यादा रेसलर महिलाओं पे हुआ था और बहुत लोगों ने ये देखा था, आप कह रहे हैं?
हाँ भाई, जैसे एक उसमें 10 महिला खिलाड़ी होती हैं, 10 में से कम 3, 4, 5 को तो इन्होंने पकड़ के आप बहुत अच्छी कुश्ती लड़ी, आप बहुत अच्छी हैं, आपको किस चीज की जरूरत है, आप मुझे बताइए, मैं आपकी मदद करूंगा। तो इस तरह का प्रलोभन दिया गया वहां पर।
जगबीर जी, क्या इन किसी भी रेसलर्स ने कभी भी आपके पास आकर, जो अभी वाकया है उसके पहले, बोला कि बृजभूषण शरण ने मेरे साथ ये किया? कोई कंप्लेन आई?
नहीं, मेरे सामने कंप्लेंट, मैं कभी महिला टीम का कोच नहीं रहा, मैं कभी किसी महिला कोच का, मैं किसी महिला का कोच नहीं रहा कभी। मैं लड़कों का अखाड़ा चलाता हूं, यहाँ पर मेरा अपना क्लब है और मैं 2007 से UWW का रेफरी हूं।
जगबीर जी, इस सब में जो आपने बयान दिया है एज एन आई विटनेस भी आपने पुलिस के सामने ये सब बताया है। अब एक चीज़ बताइए, क्योंकि जो ये ब्रॉडकास्ट देख रहे हैं ना, बहुत सारे पूछेंगे कि जगबीर जी आप पहले क्यों नहीं आए, पहले आपने क्यों नहीं बोला, अब क्यों बोल रहे हैं?
मैडम जी, हम ऐसे देश में रहते हैं कि जहां पर महिला को खिलाफ भी नहीं बोल सकते, सपोर्ट में तो आप बोल ही रहे हैं, खिलाफ में बोल नहीं सकते। जब तक इस देश में ये कानून है, जब तक महिला खुद शिकायत ना करे, महिला कोई मदद ना मांगे, अगर आप उसकी मदद करना चाहोगे तो आपके खिलाफ ही शिकायत हो जाएगी।
तो आप कह रहे हैं तब तक कोई शिकायत नहीं थी। एक चीज बताइए जगबीर जी, जो इसमें माइनर है, जो नाबालिग लड़की है, रेसलर है, उसका मुद्दा सामने आया है, कह रहे हैं कि चेंज कर दिया है स्टेटमेंट, उसमें आपको कोई ज्ञान है, कोई चेंज किया है स्टेटमेंट?
देखिए मैडम, उसके बारे में मैं ज्यादा नहीं जानता, मैं उसको नहीं जानता कि वो कहाँ से है, किस परिवार से है, वो माइनर है नहीं है, उसके बारे में मैं नहीं जानता। लेकिन मैं एक कमेंट्स करना जरूर चाहूंगा कि भारतीय कुश्ती संघ का क्या स्वार्थ था कि उस लड़की को माइनर बना के विदेश में भेजा गया, और जब उसने कोई प्रोटेस्ट किया तो आज वो माइनर नहीं है। तो क्या फेडरेशन को पहले से पता था कि माइनर नहीं है? जो फेडरेशन के पास डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं, जिस प्रतियोगिताओं में उस बच्ची को पार्टिसिपेट करवाया है, उस हिसाब से तो वो माइनर है। तो फेडरेशन आज कैसे कह सकती है कि वो माइनर नहीं है? तब फेडरेशन ने जांच क्यों नहीं की? किस उद्देश्य के कारण उस बच्ची को गलत एज ग्रुप में खिलाया गया, माइनर एज ग्रुप में क्यों खिलाया गया? तो किस बच्चे का हक मारा गया? ये भी तो एक जांच का विषय है ना। उसमें जांच करने वाला इसका सेक्रेटरी था, उस सेक्रेटरी के साइन है उसके ऊपर कि ये माइनर है, ये इस एज ग्रुप में पार्टिसिपेट कर सकती है। तब इसने जांच क्यों नहीं करवाई?
तो जगबीर जी, आप जो कह रहे हैं, जो बार बार एक नैरेटिव चला हुआ आ रहा है, एक भूमिका बांधी जा रही है कि जो लड़की है वो नाबालिग नहीं है, बालिग है, और ये बृजभूषण शरण के कह रहे हैं कि उसके कैंप से ज्यादा आ रही है। आप मुझे ये बताइए, आप कह रहे हैं ये नेशनल टीवी पे कि बृजभूषण शरण का सेक्रेटरी, जो WFI का सेक्रेटरी है, उसका साइन है इसके ऊपर कि ये लड़की नाबालिग है, और उस सर्टिफिकेट में इस लड़की ने इंटरनेशनल कंपटीशन खेला है, सही बात?
इसके सेक्रेटरी विनोद तोमर का एज प्रूफ पे साइन है, और ये विदेश गई है ये लड़की। एज वेरिफिकेशन की एक कमेटी बनाई हुई थी, जो इसका सेक्रेटरी जिसको चाहे उसको बाहर निकाल दे, जिसको चाहे वो खिला ले। इसके सेक्रेटरी के साइन होते थे एज ग्रुप वेरिफिकेशन पे। इसका सेक्रेटरी को इतनी पावर थी कि भारत देश का किसी का डेट ऑफ बर्थ को वो नहीं मानता था, किसी के पासपोर्ट को वो नहीं मानता था, उसके साइन होने हो वो जरूरी थे।
जगबीर जी, एक आखिरी सवाल पूछूंगी आपसे। बृजभूषण, आपने खुद कोच रहे हैं, इंटरनेशनल रेफरी हैं, जो मेंस की रेसलिंग टीम थी इंटरनेशनल, उसके आप कोच रहे हैं। बृजभूषण शरण की क्या छवि थी जो रेसलर्स के बीच में, इन्फ्लुएंशियल थे, काफ़ी कहते हैं उनका दबदबा था, नहीं था, लोग डरते थे, क्या उनकी इन्फ्लुएंस है?
अरे देश में सबसे बड़ा कुख्यात अपराधी कौन है? दाऊद इब्राहिम। इस देश का सबसे बड़ा कुख्यात अपराधी दाऊद इब्राहिम है, उससे इसके संबंध रहे हैं। इसके ऊपर टाडा एक्ट लग गया है, 302 की धाराएं लगी, और क्या लगना बाकी है?
जगबीर जी, बहुत शुक्रिया कि हम आपसे जुड़े। आप एक आई विटनेस हैं, बने रहेंगे कि नहीं ये तो वक्त बताएगा, पर आपने जो डिटेल में हमें बताया है, आपने साफ बताया है कि एक लड़की, जो एक महिला रेसलर जिसने कंप्लेन किया है फोटोशूट के बारे में, उसने डेट दी है, आपने डेट कंफर्म की है, आपने बोला है कि मैंने देखा था कि बृजभूषण का हाथ एक ऐसी जगह पे था उस महिला रेसलर की बॉडी पार्ट पर कि वो भद्दा था, हम देख नहीं पाए, आपने कहा है। आपने उसके अलावा 2013 का वाकया बताया है, जब फुकेत थाईलैंड में आप कह रहे थे कि एक नहीं 4-5 महिला रेसलर्स के साथ बहुत अभद्र व्यवहार किया गया। बहुत शुक्रिया जगबीर जी कि आप हमसे जुड़े, विटनेस होने में हिम्मत लगती है। बहुत शुक्रिया सर। Alright, with that report, it's a wrap on News Today. Do have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday.
The software engineer meets the gifted content writer, meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?
Elon Musk's Tesla has agreed to the Indian government's demand to set up a vendor base in India. Currently, more than half of Tesla's global production takes place in China. My colleague Chetan Bhutani joining us on the story. Chetan, does it mean Tesla is a step closer to shifting part of its business out of China and into India? And by when could we see this happen?
Well, that's right. Elon Musk's Tesla could soon make in India for the world, as top sources in the government have confirmed to Business Today TV that the company has in principle agreed to start manufacturing in India. In fact, no formal proposal has been signed as of now, but yes, by the way of mutual understanding, the company has given a green light to the government's, in fact, mutual persuasion that happened last month. Sources have also confirmed to Business Today TV that Tesla will set up a vendor place in India. But however, the government is of the opinion that the company should probably start manufacturing and, in fact, assembling electric cars in India, and then probably move on to set up a vendor base. In fact, last month, the officials of Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Department of Heavy Industries, the Prime Minister's office, they all met Tesla officials just to take a rain check at how India is serious about this electric vehicle revolution in India, and how the country in fact wants to go out. So in fact, my sources have also told me that the government in fact could sweeten the production linked incentive scheme 2.0 that would be coming up to ensure Tesla also gets some benefits. In fact, it has now in fact said that they are not anymore seeking demand for an import duty cut. But in fact, you should remember that owing to different geopolitical situations in China, the company has more than half of its production.
Chetan, will Tesla get concessions from the Indian government for setting up a base here?
Abba, the government is of the opinion that if Tesla does something and starts manufacturing, not out of the way, not a green carpet would be rolled out for Tesla, but yes, the government is looking at a production-linked incentive scheme specifically for electric vehicles and its components, because the FAME scheme is almost coming to an end, and various factors have contributed towards its ending. But yes, a PLI 2.0 is in the works, which probably could benefit Tesla.
think about these high airfares across the domestic sector, and what can be done to reduce them?
Karishma, I think every once in a while, when there is suddenly a demand-supply sort of gap, there is this, sometimes it happens that there are these fares that peak. And frankly, I've said this, the same boring thing for now almost 15, 17 years, that airfares consistently should be affordable. Now, there will be always some peaks and troughs depending on how much there is demand, but there should not be any gouging of fares. There should not be any unnecessary abuse of a particular near-term opportunity. How do we bring fares down? I mean, which is what you asked me. I think it's probably a combination of two things. At an overall level, there needs to be a consistent supply of new capacity coming in, because India is a highly underpenetrated market. For a country of 1.4 billion people, give or take 500 commercial